As all the press conferences from E3 2017 have come to an end, I thought it would be fun to rank each conference we saw from the worst to the best. With all the hype leading into this E3, I will start by saying I found this year's showing to be very weak compared to those of recent years. That being said, let's go ahead and rank the press conferences from the worst to the best. At number 6, we have Ubisoft. Now I know they showed a lot of great things, including Far Cry 5 and XCOM Mario Cross Rabbids, but there just wasn't enough at this conference to wow them into the top spot in my list. Yeah, Far Cry 5 looks like a lot of fun, but we saw it weeks before E3. Had it debuted at the show, then it would have made a bigger impact. They also showed The Crew 2, which I'm convinced appeals to almost nobody.
Hey, here's your chance.
And Starlink was their answer to the question, what do we do when all the Skylanders kids grow up? As for Beyond Good and Evil 2, I have no idea what to think. What they showed almost looks too good to be true for this generation of consoles, and as someone who never played the first one, why should I be excited?
Show me the idol. Show me the Redeemer. Bang, bang, motherfuckers! Fuck me. Damn! Nights and nights and night. Persecution with a capital P. Racism with a capital R. Man, I've seen your scar. I've seen your scar. You expect me to...
5. Bethesda. Aside from the fact that they are releasing a form of Skyrim for the god knows how manyth time, they are releasing something called Doom VFR. Doom VFR is a little unknown at the moment, and it seems like it isn't the entire campaign in virtual reality. They also showed The Evil Within 2, which looks very spooky and mysterious. I never played the first one, but the trailer they showed for the second one really makes me want to try the first.
Something terrible to
The game they showed that has me the most hyped is Wolfenstein 2. Now I know that I've already shown that I'm terrible at playing the first installment of games, but I need to play Wolfenstein The New Order after watching this trailer. The game has my name written all over it.
What you say? You say you're Nazi?
Oh, fuck this.
Motherfucker!
4. Sony. At first, I thought the Sony showing was pretty terrible. Looking back, they've safely made their way into my number 4 spot. They didn't show as many exclusives as many people had hoped for, but what they did show was impressive to say the least. They showcased a lot of PSVR games, which is reassuring to me as an owner of the headset. They also showed some much anticipated DLC in the Frozen Wilds for Horizon and the Lost Legacy for Uncharted 4. They also put a lot of emphasis on Days Gone, Shadow of the Colossus, and the new God of War game. God of War has never appealed to me, and honestly, I don't know how this new style of the game sits with me either. The main game everyone is excited for, myself included, is Spider-Man. Spider-Man looks amazing. As a huge fan of Sunset Overdrive, I have been extremely excited for Insomniac's next game for a while, and the gameplay from Spider-Man looks amazing. Number 3. EA. Aside from the main game everyone was waiting to see, Star Wars Battlefront 2, not to be confused with Star Wars Battlefront 2, EA had an amazing showing at this year's E3. Yes, they showed Need for Speed, and yes, you can pause the game this time, as stated a few months back. But they showed a fully developed story mode for Madden this year.
NFL map. A long shot from the depths of the unknown to being drafted by an NFL team.
All their eyes on you. What's to stop you from hightailing again?
Let me ask you something. Why are you here? Because...
When I first saw the story mode for FIFA, I really wanted them to do the same for Madden, as I play a lot of it. The announcement of the story mode has me very excited to buy Madden 18 day one, while I normally wait for the game to be added to the EA Access Vault on my Xbox One. Aside from all the games we knew were coming, they showed us A Way Out. If you have not seen gameplay from A Way Out, I highly suggest checking it out. This was one of my favorite games revealed at E3 2017, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. This was by far one of my favorite games revealed at E3
Good
2017.
reasons to bust out of here, but I need to get out of here too. Yeah? Not my problem.
Number 2, Xbox. Xbox had one of the best showings at the event this year, and that's not just me being a huge fan of the Xbox brand. They were the only conference to reveal new hardware in the Xbox One X. While I have my problems with the name, I cannot wait to get my hands on it. This is one of the main reasons I upgraded to a 65-inch 4K HDR10 TV earlier this year. Aside from the Xbox One X full reveal, we saw some much anticipated games in Crackdown 3, Forza 7, PlayerUnknown's Battleground, the console release, Cuphead, and Sea of Thieves.
Keep that pistol primed, because you'll also face the roaming remains of those raiders who came before you, cut short in pursuit of their own legends.
Motherfucker. They killed the power around the world.
Starting from the beginning of that list, Crackdown 3 worries me. It was announced years ago, then went into the dark to not be heard from until this year. This scares me, thinking that maybe the game won't live up to the hype. Another major announcement was PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds coming to the Xbox One family this fall. While it is not a full exclusive, this is huge for the Xbox brand, as PUBG is one of, if not the, hottest games right now. Aside from releases, they announced backwards compatibility with the original Xbox and updates for some existing Xbox One games to be updated and enhanced for the Xbox One X. Number 1, Nintendo. Nintendo was all about games at E3 this year. The amount of games is not what placed them into my number 1 spot, but rather the quality of the games announced. They announced Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Kirby for the Switch, Yoshi for the Switch, and a Rocket League port that I can't wait to play on the go. Aside from those major franchises, they announced a new Pokemon RPG for the Switch. Now this I'm both excited for and skeptical about. It sounds like a dream come true, but it may end up not being exactly what Pokemon fans are expecting. We also saw a lot more footage from Mario Odyssey, which if we're being completely honest, all Switch owners already plan to buy. Another major announcement is that Metroid Prime 4 is in development for the Switch. This is a huge title that many Nintendo fans everywhere have been waiting a long time for. While we did see a lot of great games and some surprises, Metroid Prime 4 and Beyond Good and Evil 2 to name a few, it seems like the major companies don't entirely know where they stand. Both Microsoft and Sony have different tiers of consoles, and it seems to me like a lot of developers don't really know how to treat them. For more to come out of E3 in the future, we need to see the next iteration of each console, or developers need to start creating games only for the Xbox One X or PlayStation 4 Pro. Well guys, this was my E3 2017 ranked. Let me know what you guys thought of the conferences this year and how they compared to my thoughts. As always, feel free to comment below with any discrepancies you may have or corrections you might have about this video as well. You can find more of my writing and reviews over at camposcash.wordpress.com. Feel free to comment, subscribe, and like my video, and as always, until next time.